Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to chat with you guys about my budget, favorite movie, and also 2 favorite books. And one other thing, something I can never cut out of my budget. Let's get right into it. First, I'm going to start with the movie. I don't know if any of you have Netflix. I do enjoy having Netflix. I'm so excited for Bridgerton to come out. I cannot wait. But a movie that I watched recently that I thought was really good, and it had Maggie Smith in it, Kathy Bates, and Laura Linney. It was called The Miracle Club. It was a wonderful, delightful movie, and I would say it was pretty family-friendly. I really love all 3 of those actresses. I saw Laura Linney in several things, and I especially enjoyed her in the movie John Adams, if you've seen that. Love Kathy Bates. I loved her in Fried Green Tomatoes. Love Maggie Smith. I've seen her in several things too. And I love that show, Downton Abbey. Now, I don't know if any of you watched it. I love a lot of those kind of shows. So I really enjoyed that. But it's a really good movie on Netflix if you like that. Now, on to 2 books. You guys know I love Frida McFadden. I'm almost done with all of her books. I really enjoyed this book. It was called Wanna Know a Secret? And the ending was extremely surprising. Basically, it's about a influencer that has a baking YouTube channel. I'll just say that without going into any details, and all sorts of interesting things happen. Then I read another book that I thought was pretty good by Nicola Sanders called All the Lies. It was about a lady that wants to escape her not-so-kind husband, and she basically fakes, there was an accident on this boat, and she fakes that she's no longer alive, and she takes on someone else's identity. Very interesting. I'll just say both books were really good, and that movie is good. So let me know if you've watched the show or if you've read either of those books, and are there any good books or movies you want to suggest? So let me say that. Okay, now on to my budget. You guys know I use the cash envelope system. Because I was careful with my spending, I had $65 left. Many people may want to know, what do I do with the leftover money? I have a couple other envelopes that I put a little extra money in, and what I usually do is I set it aside for anything that might come up as an emergency. And sometimes I'll keep a little bit for myself, like $20. So I set most of it aside in special envelopes. So that's what I did with that for, if somebody comes as a guest out of town and we want to go get some extra grocery items, something like that. So it's kind of nice to have that extra cash. But because I've been watching my spending and I've not been using my charge card at all, okay, unless I use it for a service or something that I normally would use it for. But if I run out of cash, or if I'm at a store, I don't use a charge card and say, well, I'm running low on cash, but I really want this, so I'm going to use my charge card, but I'll pay it off right away. I haven't done that at all this year, so I'm really glad about that. My grocery budget, I was under grocery budget again. My grocery budget for a family of, I call it 3.5 because my daughter's boyfriend's here quite a bit, is $500. That's just grocery, no cleaning supply or anything like that. I spent $467, so I was under budget, and we've been doing a lot of cooking and baking and using everything we have in this house. I kept talking about going through my refrigerator, freezer, and pantry, and I kind of did it, but not fully, and now I'm actually really doing it. So I'm doing that. My savings, remember when I had to buy that heater in January? It was almost $10,000 for that heater. And so we paid it off within 90 days, but it got our savings down really low to like $1,500. My goal is to get that back up to, I only had a little over $9,000 in there, but I want to get it up to around $10,000. So that way if something happens with plumbing or heating or any kind of emergency, it gives me $10,000 if something happens with a car or a home. And I've got it back up to $4,000. So I've been really saving, just not spending a whole lot except for our bills. Okay, this is something that I can never cut out of my budget. A lot of people are going to disagree with this. Last month I had something going with my cell phone. I had to buy a new cell phone in November, so it is a 5G. Well, they told me when they set it up, they didn't use the different settings. I guess you need different settings for that type of phone. And my phone, when I was at home, kept saying emergency calls only. I went to Verizon, excellent customer service. I went with some dear friends. They replaced the SIM card. They were super nice. This young man explained everything to me. They're really patient and kind there. So if somebody gives me great customer service, I always shout them out because You know, when somebody's patient and kind and explains things to someone that maybe doesn't know a lot about that, that goes a long way. So I appreciate that. But the one thing I won't get rid of, because I couldn't use my cell phone off and on for a couple weeks, and I thought, oh, maybe Verizon's having trouble with their towers. No, they don't, because they're one of the biggest cell phone companies, is that I have a home phone. I have to have it because I work from home as a project manager. I'm required to have a home phone and a cell phone. And even if I didn't do that, I would always have a home and a cell. I like having options, because if we just had a cell phone and your cell phone doesn't work and there's an emergency, you kind of be up the creek. Last but not least, one other thing I want to share is my next big project once I build my savings up, and if there is no more any kind of emergencies happen, I want to get our bathroom flooring replaced, and that is a need. So that is my next project that I want to do, and I'm praying that I'll be able to do that in 2024. So I want to hear from you. How's your grocery budget going? How is your budget overall going? How are you saving money today? Let's hear from you in the comments below. And what's your next home project? So many questions. Anyway, I love you guys, appreciate you, and I sure hope to see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye.